If you remember our legendary Operation Europe bash from several episodes ago, you know that Koei hasn't always pleased IE's tough but fair writing staff. Nevertheless, they've redeemed themselves somewhat with New Horizons, the second Uncharted Waters game.
This game won't thrill you with music or graphics. Both are average at best. There's a lot to do in New Horizons, though, perhaps too much. If you think taking care of a puppy is a big responsibility, try handling a fleet of cargo ships in real time.
You play one of 6 unique characters, each with different abilities and career goals. Some are more adept at navigation, while others are pirates skilled at warfare. Choose whichever one suits your personality.
It's not a big deal. You'll get to do a little of everything no matter who you choose. Each character starts off in his or her home city, with their first priority being the procurement of a ship and crew. Once that's done, you'll need to make some money.
There are a lot of ways to do that. Gambling is the quickest and definitely the most gratifying, but you can lose big. Trade is more reliable and gives you an excuse to travel as well.
Markets buy and sell all kinds of goods. If you talk to people on the street and in bars, you'll find out good places to go and what to buy there.
Crew are assigned to one of 3 posts on your ship. They'll all do their job to the best of their ability, provided that they stay alive. This is a bigger problem than it may sound. Disease or even bad weather conditions can knock off a dozen sailors like that. You're responsible for keeping your fleet stocked with food and water. Also, the more crew you have, the more rations you'll need.
You certainly may want to borrow some money from a bank early in the game to cover your initial expenses. Don't set sail far without a fully stocked ship.
And when you come into some big money, you can start purchasing arms and navigational items. There are at least 6 different guns, each of which has a certain range and damage factor. And large ports have specialty shops featuring telescopes, sextants, and things like that. You'll be broke in no time.
You can steer your ships with the arrow keys in the same way you move your character on land. Port cities are represented on the map by anchor symbols.
I wasn't crazy about this, and if realism is even remotely important to you, then you won't be either. Navigating a ship shouldn't be as easy as playing Pac-Man. You can even ram into a landmass and nothing happens. Dumb.
Yeah, the navigation sequences are far from realistic, but at least they're fairly speedy. On my computer, a day at sea takes around 8 or 10 seconds, and you'll rarely be at sea for more than 10 days at a time.
Ports aren't the only places you can dock your ship. Occasionally, you'll come across a village which may house a special item or undiscovered landmark. Nobles in some cities will hire you to report these findings to them for pay.
If you're hungry and/or annoyed, you can also plunder villages for food. Your pathetic crew will definitely decline in number if you do this, though, so be careful.
A guild can be found in nearly every port. If you need some quick cash or want to visit some place you haven't been yet, you can sign up for an odd job.
And when you gain enough fame in your area of expertise, you may be able to obtain a royal mission from the local monarch. Success here will bring you a lot of money and raise your experience level. Failure, well, as we like to say here at IE, failing is bad.
All this and politics too. Your home country will have both allies and enemies, but by investing in foreign markets and negotiating with other fleets, you can make new friends out of old foes.
The same applies in reverse. Smashing one of your neighbor's ships to pieces with grape shot is not going to win you any popularity contests. Don't forget where you came from and who you work for.
There's no doubt that New Horizons becomes more enjoyable once you get the money rolling in and you have a few ships in your fleet. There's more opportunity for trade and longer voyages, perhaps even between continents.
It can be fun to simply cruise around the ocean and stop at every port you see to do some trading and gambling. But it's crucial that you keep an eye on your resources and remember the object of the game: to become rich and famous. My first dozen games ended with me in the poorhouse.
If you don't mind the lackluster graphics and simplistic controls, New Horizons is an interesting and rather laid-back strategy game. Anyone should be able to pick it up and have at least a little fun with it. As far as winning it goes, well, you'd have to be a lot better than we are.